Hey guys, it's Hadijah. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about God and how I grew closer to him and how I want to inspire you guys to do the same. If you feel like you've fallen off of praying completely, or if you just feel like you've been slacking, I want you to learn from me, because I know so many people that won't admit it, but they're kind of in the same, predicament that I was. But I've gotten, and I'm getting to a place that I feel like I can inspire you guys. And if you want to talk, my DMs are always open to everyone except weirdos. I'm always down to talk, always down to motivate, always down to, just help out the girls. All right, so I'm gonna be doing my makeup, nothing crazy, but I'm going to a dinner in like 2 hours or so. I just need to look the tiniest bit presentable. My lashes are already done. That is a major key to life. Lashes, as long as you have lashes on, you have made it. You have arrived. You don't reach. So, as most of you know, or maybe you don't know, I am 21 years old. And I've pretty much lived in America my whole life. I just moved to Gambia for a short period of time. This was back in 2011. Yeah, so back in 2011, I moved to Gambia and I lived there for a good 3 years. I did a couple years of high school there. And then I came back and finished out high school here in Atlanta. But that's not what we're talking about today. I only used to pray when I would remember, or if my mom would yell at me and be like, "Did you pray today? You need to go pray." Like, when I tell you, sis would be yelling at me. But it's understandable because, as a religious person, she's religious, like very religious. So as a religious person, to see your child not religious is kind of like, okay, where did I go wrong? Like, what did I do to, like, I'm setting a good example, but they're just not following it, I know it was really hard for her all these years, just seeing me not praying, like just not be as religious as she was. So for me, I don't even know like what the issue was mainly for not praying. Like, it's just, I just didn't do it. I just sat around, and like it got to the point where I would see people praying and it wouldn't affect me. And this summer, like, okay, so it's crazy because me and my mom have always had this talk. She's always given me lectures upon lectures about, oh, you need to pray, God is so important, this and this. Like, we would have, like, since I was like maybe 13, 14, she'd be giving me these lectures and I'd just be like, yeah, I'm gonna pray. I pray for a week and then I just stopped praying, and then I was never ever consistent, never ever. And even up to now, like recently, it was still hard to be like consistent in praying without someone telling me like, oh, you need to go pray, oh, you need to go do this. So I know that's a situation for a lot of us, because especially in America, trying to grow up here around people who aren't Muslim and around people who don't understand why you have to pray 5 times a day and why it's at different times of the day. Oh, why can't you just pray when you want to? Like, why can't you, like, So it's super duper hard. And I think a lot of that influence kind of got to me because I didn't really have friends that were that religious, or friends that would be like, you need to go pray, you need to go do this, come on, like, you can't be slacking like this, So it's always hard when you don't have the encouragement from the people that you hang out with a lot. Even though, my family, my mom, I was around family members and stuff that would pray, and I never would. But I feel like if I had that encouragement from like my friends, or like people I hung out with, I think that would have made a huge difference. But that's the past. we are past that now. But yeah, so if you feel like it's too late to to get started. It's never too late until you're dead, sweetie. It's never too late. So I just need you guys to remember that. And I always have to constantly remind myself of that too, so that I don't fall off. And I'm not gonna sit here and preach and say I'm the perfect Muslim and I read the Quran every day and I'm on time for prayer every single day, you know. No, I'm still not even there. Things happen, you know, like sometimes you'll be at work and you can't get away to pray, or you feel like if you're praying somewhere and like, you know, somebody's gonna judge you or like look at you the wrong way for praying, because, you know, being Muslim in this country is already we know, I don't even have to say anything about it, but being a Muslim in this country is not easy, especially like expressing it, because a lot of people don't even understand it, you know, like they're judging our religion and they don't even understand half of it and how beautiful it is, you know. So if you feel like you're in a place where you're praying, or if you were to pray that it would put you in some sort of danger or some sort of like, you know, predicament, then it's advised that you don't do it until you like get home. It's okay if you fall off, you know, the only thing that matters is how you come back from it. Like if you don't pray today, or like let's say you missed a prayer because you were out at work, or, you know, something came up and like you just did not remember to pray, you just make it up as soon as you remember. Like that's what matters. Yes, it's better if you pray it on time, but God is forgiving. Like we're always hearing this. God is so forgiving. All he wants you to do is pray to him. And if you do, you will see the benefit in praying. Like he brought us into this earth so we could praise him, worship him, and it doesn't even take that long, you know, like especially for Fajr. I think Fajr is everybody's kind of like main problem, and it was mine too, like, but that's the one I made sure to kind of master first. So my mom would always wake me up when it's time for Fajr. Like she'll wake up and then she'll wake me up like right away, and it was so hard to get out of that bed, y'all. Because I am a night owl. I don't sleep usually before 1 a.m. If I sleep at 1 a.m., that's considered early for me. So I'm a night owl, so I already just don't sleep, which would make it a little bit easier, you think, to like, you know, just stay up until Fajr. But usually I start getting sleepy around like 3. So if you sleep at like 3 and Fajr is at 5, it's so hard to wake up because you were in like the middle of the best sleep. But the way I do it, like when my mom wakes me up, I just get up. There's no room for snooze. There's no room for like just 30 more seconds, just 5 more minutes. You know, I have a little bit of time. No, that is shaitan. Like that is the devil telling you you ain't about to pray today, because every time I used to do that, like 5 more minutes, I sleep until morning. Like I would not wake up again. So my best advice would be to just wake up. Just do it. It's 5 minutes, it's over. You go back to your bed like nothing happened. Like that's honestly what kept me waking up for Fajr this summer, honestly. I felt myself kind of slipping away from religion, because when you don't pray, you allow negative thoughts to come into your head, especially when you're in like a bad situation or like a rough situation. You feel like you're never gonna get out of it. But when you have God, you just know that everything happens for a reason. And I feel like that's the main reason I wanted to get closer to God, because my mom has been telling me to pray for as long as I can remember, like years upon years. She has used every tactic in the book to get me to try to pray, and I just wouldn't. But it has to come within you. You have to want to do it for yourself. People can tell you over and over again that you need to do something, but if it's not in you to do it, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. So when I just was more aware and more conscious of myself, like slipping away from religion and not being religious, like actually being embarrassed to call myself a Muslim because I wasn't doing things that Muslims are supposed to do. Like I wasn't praying. I would see people pray and I wouldn't pray, you know, like I'd go to the mosque on Friday, but that's like the only day I'd pray. So, you know, just stuff like that. And I was just like, Khadijah, Khadijah, you gotta get it together. You can't be named after the prophet's wife doing stuff like this, you know? So I just decided, you know, I have to get it together and I have to do this for me, because I can't be a hypocrite and say, okay, when I decide to like get married and have kids, that I want my kids to be religious. I want them to pray. I want them to know God, and I'm not doing it. You know, I can't be a hypocrite. I cannot expect that of my children if I did not do it. Oh, another thing I was going to mention, if you find it hard to do all your prayers, even though I know my mom's gonna be like, why would you tell them to do this? But if you can master one prayer at a time and then just add on to it, then it'll be so much easier for you to pray every day, because you're gonna feel like it's part of you. Like it's something that if you don't do it, you feel incomplete, you know? So I would say, if you find it hard to, you know, do all 5 in a day, I would say start off with 1. Pick a prayer and just do that like every single day. Make sure you have like a point of duty that you don't miss that one. And you know, as time goes on, you'll get used to doing it to the point where it's like you don't even think about it, you just do it. Once you start praying, I feel like everything just gets better. And I know this is gonna sound so cliche, because everybody says that. They're gonna be like, oh, because you pray, you think just everything's just gonna happen for you. And it's true. It does. Ask anybody who faithfully prays, faithfully believes in God, is super spiritual, and just believes that everything happens for a reason, and that God, like, there's no higher power. Ask anybody. Like, they'll be struggling, like dead in the middle of struggling, but they won't let their faith waver. You know, they won't say like, oh, what if God isn't real? Oh, what if, like, you know, they don't let the what ifs seep into their head. And I've learned that by praying more now, because I just don't have as much doubt in my mind. I just know that, like, you know, whatever happens is just part of life. As long as you believe that you're gonna get out of your situation, then, you know, you will. I feel that all that matters is your personal connection with God, not about what anybody else thinks or what anybody else is gonna say to you about, oh, you should do this, oh, you shouldn't do that, you know? I feel like it just matters how connected you are with God. The main reason I'm even doing this video is because I feel like, even though there's a lot of Muslims in the world, I feel like there's not a lot of us, especially like girls, that talk about how difficult it is to like bounce back from praying after like being on your period. Like, I know this is TMI, but this is not just me. This is a lot of us girls. We will pray, like, by the time we realize it's time to pray, you know, we pray and then our period comes like either a couple days after, like the week after, and then you're so used to not praying during that week that you're just like, you know what, it's whatever. And by the time you remember again, your period's coming again. So that used to be me. It was like a never ending cycle, bro. Like, I'd pray for like 2 days straight. I'd be proud of myself, like, yeah, I prayed, you know, for 2 days straight. I didn't miss a prayer. Like, yes, I'm on top of it. And then your period comes and you're just like, all right. And by the time you get off your period, you've fallen off, because it's not like you weren't consistent. So like, it just made it like 10 times harder to get back to praying. But once you're consistent in it, like, being on your period is low-key, like, it's like, dang, I'm missing something. Like, well, I was supposed to do something, I'm not doing it. And it's like, that's the God in you. That's like, okay, you've been praying all this time and now you have like a little break from praying, and it's like you still want to pray because you feel like you're so used to doing it, you know? This is a judge-free zone. I don't judge anybody because I don't like being judged by anybody but God. If you want me to talk more about this, or if you just want to come in my DMs and like just have a conversation about, you know, just getting on the right track, or like, you know, just anything, like, I love interacting with you guys. And it doesn't matter how old or how young you are, like I make friends with everybody and I'm down to talk to anyone. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, share, subscribe, you know, the usual, you know, put your girl out there. I promise I will come out with more videos soon. I'll give you guys life updates, and if you want more of these videos to keep y'all motivated and keep y'all going towards your goals, just let me know, please. Please just let me know. I love all of you guys and I can't wait to see you guys in the next video, inshallah. I know I'm corny, but I love you guys. So see y'all in my next one. Bye.